Now, middle school is one of the most chaotic parts of our lives, I imagine. You just graduated elementary school, and now you're going into the big boys' place now. Now you might be having anxiety.
This is kind of scary. I have to do well in middle school, or else my life will be in shambles.
Anyway, this outfit will represent me in 6th grade, and this one will represent 7th grade, because that's what I was wearing on Roblox back then. Now, the first day of middle school was especially rough for me, because I have no sense of direction, and I had to find my classes in this seemingly gigantic place, and I had no idea where to go. Also, to make it worse, I didn't speak English that well because I only moved to the US only a few months prior to this. Excuse me? Where is building C2? Kid, your schedule says S2, not C2, and it's right there. Now, I'm from Georgia, which used to be conquered by Russia for very many centuries, and Russian was my second language as a result of that. So I naturally bonded with other English learners that consisted of Ukrainians and Russians, which now that I think about it is not a good mix for today's standards. Now, we were very edgy kids and said insanely offensive things very casually. Such as when we were in PE class, one of my friends saw this girl and said, "Chocolate."
Huh?
So we all were in the same classes. We had one teacher who I'm gonna call Mr. Terraria. He taught math and science in back-to-back periods. Now Mr. Terraria asked this guy, who we will call Nullify, to read from the textbook. What made it worse is Nullify didn't speak English well, just like half the class. So he ended up saying, "When studying ecosystems, it's important to understand how different plants and animals interact." At the bitch! He tried to say beach, you know, the sand ocean place, not the other kind of beach. Everybody laughed at that poor kid. Next year in 7th grade at lunch, Nullify took out an apple, and he took the most violent bite out of the apple randomly. Now this is random as hell, but he looked so stupid that everybody laughed at him and he was kind of confused. Once I flipped the bottle, it didn't land by the way. The dean saw me, took my bottle, drained all the water out of it, threw it away, and walked away like a Sigma with no reaction. Bottle flipping was banned at that moment. I don't know if it still is. Probably not. And if you don't know what bottle flipping is, you probably weren't conscious back when this happened. That deed was really scary, by the way. Every kid bricked their pants whenever they saw him. Kid crazy aura. If you walked in, the whole room would go silent. I was mostly a good boy, so I usually wouldn't be at risk of getting into trouble. But again, I was really edgy back then. So one time I made an insanely offensive joke to a particular person, and I won't get into any more detail, and I got the indication that she's going to the dean to tell on me.
No.
Some kids were even coming up to me like, "Bro, did you really tell her that?" That's really messed up, bro. And I legit had to resort to getting the hell out of there while concealing my face like John Wick. You know how in John Wick 2, John Wick shot someone in a place where you're not supposed to shoot people? And then he became the most wanted man on planet Earth? That's kind of how I felt. Every class, I was terrified of the dean to call me into his office. And luckily it never happened. I guess she never told on me. Clearly, I'm not the main character. John Wick is the main character, but I'm not. If this dean found out what I did, I wouldn't be alive to tell you this. While I didn't go to the dean this time, I did get called to the dean the previous year. But it was a different dean back then. So going back to 6th grade, I was hanging out with my homies at lunch. With my boy Nullify, Vlad, Mikhail, Jose Bonds, Kate, and Myra. And then suddenly some dumbass kid came and started to circle around us and start harassing us for no reason. Nobody knows why he was doing this. And when we switched spots, he followed suit. We eventually had enough and Vlad told him, "Hey man, get the fuck out of here, buddy." And he didn't. And my crush was there, which was Kate. So I was like, I'm gonna look very cool by confronting him. "Hey bro, get the fuck." And he smacked my ear very hard to the point where it started to throb. After uselessly harassing us, he told the dean on us. So I was wondering, what the hell did he tell the dean? Because he harassed us. We didn't do anything. One of them called me the N-word. I'll read that ass. At this point in time, I didn't know what the N-word was. Again, I was in 6th grade, and I was too embarrassed to ask. I was kinda innocent back then. I know I was edgy, but my prime edginess would be in 7th grade. This is 6th grade. So the dean was yapping, "Oh, you know, the N-word is a very hard word to hear. Blah, 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 blah." And as she was saying that, I was like, what the hell is the N-word? Am I stupid? Am I missing something here? Anyway, this kid definitely lied. Nobody called him that. And I know the stupid ass fucking tetraploid made this up. And you know how I know? This dumbass kid falsely accused my brother of calling him the N-word too, only a few weeks prior to this. What my brother really did was call him a Minecraft villager. And that's why I've been using a Minecraft villager to represent him the whole time. This kid had a hobby where he would make up lies about people to the dean. And I'm sure he did this to many other people besides for us. And that's why Proverbs 19:5 says a false witness will not go unpunished. Anyway, I didn't get into any trouble after this, but Vlad did. I think he got some detention or something because of this dumbass villager. Poor Vlad. Hashtag justice for Vlad. So fast forward to 7th grade again, so in the 2017 range, fidget spinners were very popular. I really wanted one. Everybody seemed to have one. So I told my friend Melee Z right here, hey dude, I wish I had a fidget spinner. Oh you do? You can have mine if you want. I don't want it. Oh really? Thanks man. Yeah sure, here you go. Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. I want it back and give it back to me. Right now. No, it's mine now, so I want to keep it. Well, fuck you then. And after that, our friendship shattered for the next few weeks. Back to 6th grade again. I don't know why I keep bouncing between years instead of organizing them for this video, but anyway. In history class, we were talking about something FNAF or horror related. I don't know. And this fucking kid randomly says, Freddy's fake! Like, no shit, Freddy's fake. Who the fuck thought we had a real Freddy Fazbear just walking around? Let's go back to this whole thing. Remember when I said that I had a crush on Kate? After some time, I actually started to like her. And what did I do about that? Nothing. I would never say anything to her first because I was a pussy ass boy. I would only talk to her if she talked to me first. So, did you do today's math homework? Yup. Nice. And we didn't interact for the rest of the day. Cause I'm a pussy. On Valentine's Day, I watched my friend Jose Bonds bring Kate flowers and a teddy bear. And I was like, oh crap, is my friend about to riz my crush away from me? I am so cooked. And then she told the rest of us in Russian that she's not into him. Jose Bonds was Spanish, so he didn't understand. El Reyes Jose Bonds. Now she actually liked me back the whole time, by the way, and I didn't do anything. Once we were sitting outside our class, and she actually asked me,
Minnie, can I kiss you?
and I said,
No.
Vlad saw this and he was like,
What is wrong with you, Minnie? Why would you turn that down?
Eventually Kate literally asked me,
Minnie, wanna be boyfriend and girlfriend?
and I said,
Yes.
at least I didn't reject her this time. So despite knowing that she likes me back, I was still too much of a pussy to ever talk to her, and it went nowhere. And after 6th grade ended, Kate disappeared and I never saw her again. Myra also disappeared. If I handled this better, I would have prevented a lot of bitchless accusations. Now speaking of bitches, my 7th grade history teacher was a bitch. Maybe if I make it part 2, I'll talk about more. But there's one time this teacher, who we will call Mrs. Rat, assigned us to give some kind of presentation of something that I can't fully remember. And I was the very first one to go up. So after I did my presentation, Mrs. Rat gave me a B, which is fine, I guess. And then the second kid did his presentation, Mrs. Rat also gave him a B, just like me. And I don't know what exactly happened in her mind. She turned to me and said, you know what, Minnie? I'm gonna change your grade to a C instead because fuck you. So I guess mine was so bad that this dude's presentation upped the standard for her. Or maybe she just hates me. She probably hates me because she did not treat me very well. But one redeeming factor of Mrs. Rat is she is the reason that I made my Red Cliff vs. ROBLOX series. She taught a whole section about knights, which gave me the idea to make a Roblox movie based on that. So thank you, Mrs. Rat. Let's go back to 6th grade again because this video's timeline is like a Christopher Nolan movie. I was sitting outside the S2 class, which I confused for C2 that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I was with Ball. Again, if you've seen this video, you know about Ball. Although this was 6th grade, so this is before he turned into a dumbass. So me and Ball were talking about our teacher in our English learners class. We will call this teacher Mr. Farmer. We were put in this class because we weren't the native English speakers and they put us in this class to help us learn English. This class was so diabolical that it deserves its own video. So that's why I didn't mention any of it here. So anyway, I told Ball,
Mr. Farmer's a motherfucker.
and as soon as I said that, Mr. Terraria came in and said, did I just hear one of you guys say motherfucker? And Ball was like,
What? Huh? No.
and I agreed. And he fell for it. So Mr. Terraria, if you're somehow watching this, yes, we did in fact say that and we gaslighted you. Anyway, if you're currently in middle school and you hate it, you might want to change your mind. Because you don't have to worry about taxes, you don't have to worry about getting a job. You're literally just a kid. The only thing you have to worry about is graphing equations in slope-intercept form. Unless things aren't actually going well for you and unless there's literally no redeeming qualities in your situation, in that case, I will pray for you. Anyway, let me know if I should do a part 2. And for now, peace.